Hi everyone. I am getting ready to do a tutorial on an exploding box. I posted a video earlier this month of one that I did for my husband for our anniversary, and I got a lot of feedback of people asking me to do a tutorial, so I'm gonna do one for you today. Since September is coming up and the start of fall, I chose to go with fall colors, even this little leaf pattern here. So the first thing I want to do is go over the material that you'll need. You'll need 4 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock. I chose 3 solid prints and then a decorative print to make my lid. You'll need scissors, a pencil for making your lines, a ruler. I have both a wooden and a metal ruler, a 4 by 4 piece of construction paper, and some type of adhesive. You can use either glue stick, double-sided tape. Either of those will get the job done. I've seen tutorials with people using all of them. With my first one, I used a lot of glue stick, and I kind of don't have any more, so tacky glue it will be for me today. So what we're gonna start off with is our base sheet, and just so this tutorial won't be super long, I've actually already drawn my lines on mine. For your base sheet, you're going to use the entire 12 by 12 sheet. You're going to divide it up into 9 equal parts. So your squares will be 4 by 4. I prefer the exploding boxes with the heart corners, which is where the 4 by 4 piece of construction paper comes in. However, if you decide not to do the heart corners, you'll just cut out the corner pieces on each sheet. So you'll have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares instead of the total of 9. For making the heart piece, you're going to take your 4 by 4 piece of construction paper, fold it diagonally. Sorry you guys, I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to folding a piece of paper. Like, I like it to line up just right. So you'll take your 4 by 4 piece of paper, fold it in half diagonally, and I'm pretty sure many of us have probably done this, probably in grade school with drawing hearts, where you fold a piece of paper in half and then do the half outline. I'm gonna do a pen, hopefully it shows up better on the camera. And so then you'll just draw your outline for the half heart, and you can either draw it smaller or you can just draw the top half and let the straight edge be your guide. Once you've drawn that, you'll just cut it out. You'll have your heart here. So once it's done, you open it up, you'll have a full heart. Then to do the heart corners, what you'll do is, because I left my edges being the straight edges from the paper, is you line it up with the corners of the squares, and then you trace the top half of your heart to let it line up. Once you have that traced in all 4 corners, I've done that in all 4 corners. I'm not even sure that it shows up on camera, but they are there. You'll want to cut them, and once you're cutting, what you're going to do is you're going to go down on your line just to where the heart meets the line from your squares, and you'll cut around because you do still want it to be attached. And then you're just going to go around and cut the rest of the heart shape out. I have a pretty thick piece of cardstock. You can use thinner paper, but I like these. They hold up really well. I feel like the one that I made my husband will definitely be a great keepsake because of the quality of the cardstock. So should he decide that he wants to keep it, he could keep it for years to come and always have something to look back at to reflect on our first year of marriage. And I'm just gonna cut the other side. And there, as you can see in the corner, you now have your little heart there. You'll go through and you'll cut out all of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out, and then I'll be right back to show the rest of how to set up, how to continue with creating the explosion box. But it kind of takes me a little minute because I want my hearts exactly correct. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and cut out all 4 corners where the hearts are from my heart template. So once you have that done, what you want to do next is score your lines where your box will fold. I don't have the fancy scoring pad thingy with the little scoring boning tool, so I use a good old ruler. Just lay it down on your lines where you want to fold up, smooth, fold it down. You can use the ruler to press down so you can get really crisp lines. I have a smaller ruler somewhere, don't feel like looking for it, sorry. And you'll do the same on the other side. Again, pull it down, use your ruler to smooth it out, give you that good crease. You'll turn your paper, do it for the other 2 lines, fold over, fold down, crease for sharp edges. And crease for sharp edges. Now you have your box folded, so it will fold up. Now for the hearts, we want them to fold in so that when the box is closed, that the hearts go inward. So what you want to do there is take your box and pick one corner, take those 2 ends and join them up together so that that heart is folded to the inside of the box, and it will generally make a crease down the middle of your heart, if you guys can see that. So I have one heart that is there. Now you can see that it has a line down the middle, and so you'll do that to all 4 edges, all 4 corners, shall I say. Fold in, go on the inside, crease your heart so that that fold is there. Again, you'll take it, you'll fold in, crease the heart from the inside of the box so that it is a crease down the middle. And last one, again, that's fold in so that those corners meet up. And then you're gonna crease your heart on the inside of the box. Oops, didn't quite fold up the way I want it. Let me try again. There we go. So now you have all 4 corners with creased hearts. So once you fold in, all of your hearts fold inside the box. and they come together to form a box. So that's just the simple basis of the outside of the box. So all of your hearts fold in. Again, if you decide that you don't want the hearts, you'll just cut those corners out and still score your lines, and your box will still fold up in the same manner. So this is our base. So once again, each one of these squares were 4x4. So then we move on from our 4x4 to our next sheet, which for me, I chose this lovely piece of golden yellow. This is also 12x12. Like I said, all pages are 12x12. And what you're gonna do is make 9 equal boxes on this paper, and they are going to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So you will have some excess that you'll have to trim off. So let me go ahead and do that now. If you have a cutting board, I would definitely suggest using it. It makes it a little easier. So guys, with these little boxes, you can kind of make them for any occasion, whether it be a gift, like I made mine for a gift for my husband for our anniversary. You can do things as creative as making wedding invitations. Very creative, very time consuming. I think a really cute idea for one would be for women who, if you're getting married and you want to ask, you know, your friends to be a part of your bridal party, I think these could be very creative boxes for that. So once you have your boxes, once again, your boxes are going to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. You'll once again take your ruler or whatever you have that you'll use, put it on the line, fold up, fold over. Use your ruler to crisp that line down. That makes it lay flat. Do the same thing on the other side. Now once you've gotten your lines all crisp, you can definitely go back and erase your pencil lines for a cleaner look, or in some cases, depending on what elements you're putting in your box, the pencil lines will be covered, so you won't have to worry about it. You'll turn your paper, you'll do the same for your other 2 lines so that those are crisp and laying flat there. Now for your inside boxes, if you want hearts in the corner, you could definitely cut you a square the same size as the boxes. So that would be, for this one, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then do the same method of folding the paper diagonally, drawing the heart as we did for the outside. I don't do that. I cut the corners off for my inside boxes to let those hearts pop on their own. So in that case, if you're not going to make hearts for your inside boxes, you're going to cut the 4 corners out, as I am doing right here. And no, I don't discard this paper, because I can either use it somewhere later in this box for a particular element that I may put inside, or, I mean, it's scrapbook paper, so it's really good quality. You can use it for making other cards. So, have that all cut out. So there's those. And of course, your corners after they have been cut out. Like I said, you can use those for other elements in your box. So obviously, once this is all cut out, it folds up into the shape of a box, you know. So here is how we begin to assemble. We take our base and we have this. As you can see, our boxes are just a tad bit smaller than the base box, which is exactly what we're hoping for. If you did it right, you'll have the same result. And I just turned mine upside down so that I can put the glue on there. A good idea, if you want to make sure that you line this up right, is to take your pencil, pen, marker, whatever you want to do, and I just trace out this little corner box that's left so that I can know exactly where to set my paper down to give me the right flow. Then, like I said, I'm using tacky glue. So I got this at Michael's, and I used a coupon for it. It was only like $1 and some change, but I didn't have anything else to buy, and they had a coupon, so I used the coupon, and it just made it even cheaper, because who doesn't like cheaper? I'm a couponer, so anything cheaper is a win in my book. And it doesn't take a whole lot. I know it looks like I'm using a lot, but there's very little flow coming out. So once you put your glue on the bottom, you will just flip it over, line it up with those lines that you drew, and you will place it down. Now remember, only to glue your middle, otherwise you won't be able to put elements on the other panels because they'll be stuck together. But put that down, and we have now inserted our second layer into our box. So once it closes up, your hearts will go in between these pages, and we'll still have it. So you can now see, at least I hope you can see, that yellow inside of there. So that's that. For our third and final layer, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do that one as well. I chose this lovely piece of orange paper, burnt orange or whatever color you want to call it. And for this page, you're going to once again divide it up into 9 equal parts. The measurements for these are going to be, there we go. It's going to be 3.5 by 3.5. I'm sorry if that's upside down, guys. But yep, 3.5 by 3.5 inch squares. So you will still have excess left over that you will once again cut off. And once again, so once you have that cut, again, we're gonna fold and crease on the lines that we have drawn. This piece of paper that I have here is a little textured piece of paper. It's not as heavy as the other sheets that I was using, but I like the texture on it, so probably provides a good element. Put over the other half. Didn't go quite nicely. There we go. A little bit of crease on your paper, and do your other 2 lines. And again, with this page, just like I did with the yellow, I am going to be cutting out the corners, so they won't be a part of the box. Again, if you want to, you are more than welcome to make hearts in your corners. For this layer, you will need 3 3/2 by 3 3/2 squares to make those hearts in the corner. And you will do it just as we did at the beginning with the 4 by 4 piece of paper, fold it diagonal, draw your half heart on the outline, cut it out, and then you can trace it in your corners. So just as before, I'm gonna line it up. I'm going to draw my squares so I can make sure I'm lining this up just right. Flip it over, add some glue. Once again, you can use whatever adhesive you prefer. I don't necessarily know that I prefer tacky glue. It's just what I have on hand. So I feel like, in my honest opinion, I think my tacky glue takes way too long to dry. maybe that's what it's supposed to do. I'm not quite sure because when I bought it, it was my first time using it. But it does hold well for certain things, like if you're using like foam padding or certain heavier elements that you want to stick. It does work well for that if you don't have something like a glue gun. And so you guys, here we are with all 3 layers in there. So you have the innermost level, which is my orange box, and as you can see, it folds up just like a little box. The yellow box, and then our brown box. And then once again, like I stated, you'll fold your hearts in between the layers, and there you go, you have the entire box. So this is how the outside of your box should look. Very square with the little cuts in the middle, which are your hearts. And then from there, well, of course we need a lid. And as I stated, I am going to use this really pretty fall leaf paper. Thought this was cute. By the way, I got all of this paper from Joann, so if you're looking for any of the colors that I have, that's where it came from. All of my solid colors are from, if I'm not mistaken, and I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, it's called Brazil. I have it in chocolate milkshake, golden coin. The lovely orange is called Brazil orange. And then I also have a burgundy, which I don't think I showed you all, but the burgundy that I have is called pomegranate splash. I'm sorry, excuse me. And then this piece of leaf paper is by Paper Pizzazz, is what it states on the back. So you can get any of these. Now for your lid, you're gonna want to cut out a piece of paper that is 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. You guys can see that. I hope it's in focus. I do apologize if it's not, but it's 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. And then you're going to want to make 1-inch markings all the way around. So as you can see, all of my corner pieces are, I hope you guys can see this. Let me zoom in. So you have 1 inch by 1 inch all the way around. You'll draw your lines. And as we've done before with all of the others, we are going to want to fold up on our lines or score the paper on the lines, depending on what you're using. And we're going to do that all the way around the paper. You have all of that scored. What you're going to do is you're going to decide which pieces you want to be your top and your bottom, and you are just going to cut up here and cut up. You're going to rotate your paper and you're going to cut on this line. Rotate your paper, cut up on this line, and rotate your paper and cut up. So once you cut up, you should have your flaps that fold up. So you have here, 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 and here. And to stick your pieces together, you're going to want to take, for this, I feel like a glue stick might work better than tacky glue. But you'll take your piece and fold it down. You'll put you a little bit of glue there. Make sure that you get enough so that it does stick. And then you're gonna take it and fold it behind that other piece and secure it there. Give yourself a sharp corner there, as this is a box, and so it should look like this. And then you're gonna wanna do that for all 4 corners. Fold in. And fold down. Add some glue. Fold in. I find it easier after I fold it in to crease my corners a little more so that they have a sharper edge. And then for the last one, of course, fold down, add some glue, and then fold in. Depending on what type of glue you're using, just give it a few moments to create that bun for you. But there you have your top for your box. This is a really thin piece of paper, which is why it appears so flimsy, but it's more decorative, and I think after using solid colors for the box, the decorative paper on the top gives it a little more pop. You can choose to crease the top of your box if your folds didn't come as crisp as you like. I do try to make mine as crisp as possible to keep that square form. Once your box is completed and you have your top completed, all you do is, of course, fold your box up and place your top on. Oops, got a little caught there. Place your top on, and there is your box. As you can see, 4 corners, a bottom to the box, and my decorative top. And obviously the explosion factor is you take the top off and it explodes open. And that is how you do it, guys. So really simple. This part of making the box isn't time consuming. It's actually the elements that you make that go inside the box that take the most time. To see how to create elements that go in the box, I can do tutorial for elements, or I can simply provide you with the links for the elements that I've used in previous boxes that I found on YouTube. There are a ton of tutorials for things to go inside the boxes on YouTube, as well as how to make the boxes. Most of the tutorials, though, you will find they use centimeters opposed to inches. That's the reason why I decided to do inches. It makes it a lot easier in my opinion. But I thank you guys for watching my tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll give it a shot. If not, you can always reach out to me. I'll be happy to make a exploding box for you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, or you can send me a private message, and I'll be happy to respond and answer any questions. Thank you.